we go. Good evening, everyone. This is Chaotic Teal, and I hope you've had a good holiday season thus far. So, I said last week that I was going to get back to Mario RPG and Sonic Frontiers within this next week. That didn't happen. The weekend ended up being busier than I expected, so no Mario RPG, and I've just been kind of all over the place in terms of what I want to do in the last couple of days, plus want to prioritize spending time with my family. So, no Sonic Frontiers. However, I've also been wanting to do another one of these types of streams where I'm just kind of chilling and putting something together. I would have done that with the Lego bonsai that I was given for Christmas, but I zoned out and put together the entire thing in like 4 hours the night that I got it. So instead, I picked up this beautiful boy. Getting weird, or is the camera just totally desaturated? See if I can. Do something about that. I'm not sure that I'm gonna be able to do something about that. It might be weirdness with the lighting. My lighting options are limited and I refuse to use an overhead light. Let's see if I can. Manually bump up the saturation a tad. Let's set that down so I'm not trying to. I mean, cranking up the saturation seems to have worked. Yeah, if it becomes a problem, I'll change it again. So, yeah, I've never actually built a proper Lego set on stream before. I put together a... Oh wait, is this the back? Totally is. There's the front. Look at him. Really a majestic creature. Anyway. Put together the not Lego like Mega Bloks set of Tyranitar, which is currently sitting on my thing over there. Shelving unit. Vanity. I don't know what to call that thing. I guess technically a dresser. There are drawers. I just don't use them. Anyway, put together a Lego Tyranitar, or not Lego Tyranitar, last year. And spent a while making the... well, putting together and playing with the Nintendo Labo Horizon. Hopefully, the sounds of plastic aren't too overwhelmingly loud in the mic. Tried to make sure it was kind of over this way, so my voice is the louder thing. That appears to be all of the pieces. Now we got our instructions. But yeah, the other Lego Mario sets, I mean, I'm not super interested in the proper Lego Mario theme. Well, because I think it came out too late for me. I would have really loved it when I was a kid, but there's not a whole lot of draw to me to the interactive piece of the of the proper Lego Mario theme. And the NES and the question block from the last few years were really big. Those were multi-day undertakings, and I just didn't care that much about the Lego Bowser, because I didn't know where I was going to put it. I don't know where I'm going to put this, to be fair, but I will find a way. Lego's always been a favorite of mine. That's 2. 4? Is it 4? 6. I really like putting things together. And I don't have as much creative energy to dedicate to using Lego pieces to build my own things at this point. And if I'm gonna do that, I prefer to properly make my own things. Put that there for the moment. This one here. But the Lego sets, I do really enjoy. One thing I like to do when I'm putting together a set like this is try to separate things out by color, roughly. I found the other night that these segmented containers are very nice for this purpose. I want to put blue on not blue. So, just take a few minutes, hopefully not a few minutes, take a little time to sort things out by color and then make things go faster. This is a Bionicle style joint. Interesting. It makes sense. My understanding of this set is that there are a reasonable number of components that can move. but I just wasn't expecting to see that here. I think they did revive Bionicle for a little while a few years back, but it just didn't take off as much as people hoped. I think at that point I didn't really have the space for Lego sets, as, you know, big Lego sets are difficult to move with. It's one thing when it's something like the Lego chess set, which is pretty sturdily contained. That looks like it's everything. Okay, good. It seems like the Lego clacking sounds aren't generally too loud. Again, I can shift stuff around if need be. Put these blue pieces in here. It is possible that it would be more efficient to keep these smaller bags separate from light colors, or at least to separate them into light colors within the smaller bags. But it'll be fine. Part of the fun is hunting through a pile to find the right piece, even if you know that you're looking in the right color pile. Let's see, I think now that I've got this stuff cleared out, I'm gonna move these tan pieces over here and combine them with yellow, because that just fits better in my head. These coins. It's possible that they won't be coins, but I could easily see them being coins. One thing that I really like about the Lego sets that are targeted towards adults is that the instruction booklets frequently have trivia and things like that, either about the development of the set or whatever the set is based on, or even just tidbits about the pieces themselves. Like the bonsai tree, for instance. The cherry blossom design uses a bunch of kind of pinkish purple frogs for the leaves. And it specifically notes, not only are they frogs, but at 101 frogs, the bonsai tree has the most frogs out of any Lego set, which is just incredible to know. Okay, got our bag 1 sorted. Got our brick separator in case we need it. Yeah. Things like this, where we get just a little bit of background on the concept of a piranha plant. A history up the Piranha Plant. And some discussion with the designers behind the set. Let's see. And a couple of these bigger pieces to start things off. Always good to have a strong base. Okay, well that's not particularly strong, but it's a large flattish thing. Oh, do we actually put these? Huh. It's always interesting in the early stages of putting together a Lego set. Kind of speculating how things are going to come together. Like, I know this is a different... Yes, that is a different shade of green. I know that this is all going to somehow become... Later. I know that this is all going to somehow become the pipe. But I don't know how. I don't know what purpose these pieces serve. But we're gonna find out. Oh yeah, one thing I do want to make sure that I note, because this is almost certainly the last stream before Extra Life. I'm going to be playing through Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, starting on Friday, covering the first game on Friday and the second game on Saturday, and raising money for the local children's hospital. If you want more information on that, there's a link in the description that goes to the campaign page. And yeah, I hope that you'll be around to... Ah, yes. That actually... It's funny that you came in right now. I was just talking about the Extra Life event, fundraising event that I'm doing on Friday and Saturday. End off the year with one last push. I mean, for now, we're making Legos. At least we're trying to, if I can find this circular piece. There we go. I hope that I'll see you there. I don't usually do fundraising quite this late into the year, but I thought it'd be fun. Good distraction while I have some time away from school, and I've gotten rather fond of doing a little more than just one discrete event throughout the year. On the topic of Legos, though, I can certainly agree with the relaxing aspect of them. it's nice to just not quite go on autopilot, but close, and just put something together. I dug out... A couple years ago, I started doing these metal model kits, and I put together a dragon one, and then I got kind of stuck on an armor one that I was working on, and, you know, work and stuff, so I put it down, but I got it back out the other day. I did not, but somehow I'm not surprised that that's a thing. I mean, frankly, if we could use Lego or a Lego adjacent system to put together housing, I see that as an absolute win. As long as they're reasonably sturdy, houses go up quick, and people have places to live. Not that I want to take work away from construction workers either. Oh, no, these are backwards. No, these are correct. The hardest part of building something like this on stream is trying to keep it at a level that I can actually see it effectively, but also show it on camera. It would probably be easier in that realm if I would just set this up on a table or something, but my camera setup can only point down so far before I just have to lay the thing down. And that's way easier to do on a table, looking down at the floor. There we go. Okay, looks like we're setting this to the side for now. Working on another thing. I feel like there's a lot that I could learn as a game designer from Lego instructions. That's true. Longer cables would help. I mean, right now I'm barely using any length of cable because the camera's just sitting right next to my laptop. But in general, that would give me more flexibility. There we go. What was I saying? Right. Game designer, Lego instructions. There's limited application, I think. Because in most cases in a video game, you don't want to lead the player by the nose through everything they have to do. But Lego instructions have to be so meticulously designed. They have to be Did I lose a blue piece under the green pieces? I did. This is why we separate by color. And this is why we don't use containers that are the same color as the Legos. Anyway, Lego instructions have to be very meticulously designed to work for everyone. There can't be ambiguity in instructions. And I would imagine that is extremely hard work. But very worthwhile if you want people to know what the heck is going on. So, maybe not directly integrating Lego instructions into video games, but keeping the concepts, and particularly the visual side of things, in mind could be useful. Because they also have to be designed with zero ambiguity without ever using words. Okay, so that goes here. Kind of plonked on like that. So that's gonna do something. Who knows what the little flap will do, but it'll be something. That is the tricky piece. There are a lot of tools that can give you a reasonable leg up with game development without having to code, but your options are always going to be limited if you're not putting those things together yourself. That's not to say there's anything wrong with using Unreal Engine blueprints or things like that, but learning at least some programming is definitely worthwhile. Tricky, though. It requires a different mindset than a lot of people have off the bat. I've been coding off and on since high school, so I have some general understanding, but end of the day, I'm a game designer, not a game programmer. I can mock things up to demonstrate what I want them to do, and then hand them off to someone else to make it better than what I'd made. And I'm content with that, because it's really easy to end up in a trap where you just run around in circles and don't really find the programming part fun. I mean, nothing's fun all the time, but the thing that really bugged me about programming in high school is that it could take dozens of lines of code, and it could take hours to actually have anything that is meaningfully visible. And I like being able to cobble something together, press button, and see if it works. Maybe the issue is just that I'm impatient. The game concept sounds like an interesting one, though. It reminds me a bit of, well, a couple of other games, really. If you haven't checked it out, I might recommend Rakuen by Laura Shigihara. And, of course, That Dragon Cancer is another well-known game in the realm of children and hospitals. Which, admittedly, is a rough subject this year, but those are stories that need to be told. And particularly having visually understandable and interactive ways of understanding those circumstances, that can be extremely valuable. Both for a kid, excuse me, a kid who's going through stuff, or a relative who's going through stuff. Where is the last one of these pieces? All that is to say, I would love to hear more updates on the progress on this game. And being able to give the kids in those hospitals another way of processing through their own experience. It's super worthwhile. There we go. This is definitely getting more pipe-shaped. I mean, slowly. It's still very rectangular. But we'll get there. Probably gonna have to shift my position a bit at some point, so I don't just obliterate my knees. Or my feet. I sit like a gremlin, and I'm told that that will start to cause me problems. And by I'm told, I mostly mean I tell myself, because I know that will start to cause me problems. I am just not immune to the call of the gremlin sit. There we go. I really like how these sides are looking. They just have a nice consistency to them. I mean, somewhat mixed feelings about these couple of white bricks that look like buck teeth in the pipe. But that's fine. It's okay. There's nothing to worry about. I'm beginning to see why they showed putting these together and then setting them down here. But I've come too far to turn around on this. Yeah, I'm excited about seeing where this will... I mean, I know it'll eventually create plant, but I'm no less excited about seeing how it becomes plant. It's sort of like something I was telling a friend about comic book adaptations. In a lot of cases, the thing that's interesting isn't the mystery of not knowing who someone's gonna be or who might betray the protagonist and things like that. But the interest comes from seeing how we're going to get from our happy, peaceful starting point to a less happy, less peaceful ending point. Or usually less happy, less peaceful middle point, and then another happy, peaceful ending point. Okay, yeah, I can definitely feel my feet getting unhappy, so I'm gonna have to stop and shift positions once I get through this step. I've had so many years of not needing to worry about the consequences of my gremlin behavior. And now I'm getting to the point that I do. And that sucks. Done a whole lot of the heck around stage, and I'm finally reaching find out. I'm gonna need that next, but at the moment, I need these little angledy boys. I'm curious what the purpose of these little bits is, given that they are now locked in place. Hard to say. Again, one of those, how is this gonna get there questions. Is the plant actually going to be able to rise up and move around in the pipe? I kind of hope so. I'm continually impressed by the engineering of Lego sets. You know, I went to school for game design, so I could make things that don't have to work in reality. But seeing attempts to make those things that don't work in reality, always super cool. There's a channel, Brick Machines, I want to say, that's done a bunch of Lego Minecraft builds that'll be like a working enchanting table or a working crafting table that combines Lego engineering with NFC chips and cards and things like that to make actually responsive Lego builds. It's wild. I mean, there are also a number of them that are purely on the engineering side. Okay, these aren't any different on one side than the other. Like, whatever the nightmare things are, flying things that'll come and get you if you don't sleep. Which, you know, same. Rude, but feel that. Okay. This... gonna click into here. There we go. Kinda... Oh, it doesn't rotate easily, but there's a decent chance that that's the point. A single Lego piece in... Oh, Cynthia. Hello. The fun thing about having a game soundtrack going while you work on something that is unrelated to the game is that just about every game soundtrack has one or two pieces that will jump scare you. You know, for the Diamond and Pearl soundtrack, it's Cynthia. For the Breath of the Wild soundtrack, it's the Guardian theme. I actually used to have the Guardian theme as my alarm. Wow. Yeah, I know that they made a really nice looking Infinity Gauntlet set. And it definitely looks like it's in the dozens upon dozens of hours realm. Shit. I'm actually holding things relatively on screen. Hope I don't just shift myself right off this little bolster. Thought I recognized the legendary battle theme. This attaches like so. Got a nice little something going on there. doing pretty much the same thing on the other side. To the point that I'm a little surprised that they didn't do this again. Direction. Come on. There we go. And... I am happy to share the monkey brain desire to construct things with others. Like I said earlier, I was given the Lego bonsai for Christmas and zoned out for 4 hours and put it together. So I needed to get something else to put together for a stream, because it's just been a while since I've done a building stream like this. I don't think that I've done one at all this entire year. And that's a shame, because I enjoy that. Okay, here we go. Starting to get that circle going. Doesn't quite reach the edge here. The bonsai's really cool. And I particularly like that the instruction booklet ends with a bunch of suggestions for ways that you can use other Lego pieces to make your own bonsai. Okay, I did miss a step. I was wondering. These needed some buffer. It's like, that doesn't quite fit. I've also been looking at the Lego Japanese Garden for similar reasons to my interest in the bonsai. I just really like the aesthetic of that. But the Japanese garden is more expensive than the Piranha Plant. So, plant wins. What have we done? Oh, interesting. Okay, I see how that does now. That's cool. Just to show this to the camera. Pushes out the little flap. I've also been really interested in the architecture sets, but they're always so expensive. And I'm sure that that's because of licensing costs with using particular buildings. Yeah, I'm interested to know how that's gonna factor in to the overall design. It's one of my favorite things about Lego. Just getting to something and realizing that you've been tricked into doing an engineering. We'll keep this space for the extra pieces. I think every single piece in this bag is green. So sorting by color is not going to help. What's this? Yeah. Kind of dump that in a disorderly pile in there. And then we'll keep the smaller bag in this one. Beautiful. Where's... Okay. Just dropping a couple of these on the edges, I guess. Bothers me that those don't line up with the other stuff, but I'm not the Lego designer. Admittedly, Lego set designer would be a rad job. Difficult, I'm sure. But super cool. Okay. Getting some nice context, okay. Diamond and Pearl were the first Pokemon games that I really played through. And, you know, most of the music carries over to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So, I wouldn't say that I have the soundtracks memorized, but I do have a general idea of where a song is used. Let's separate out all these curved pieces, because I have a feeling I know how they're gonna get used. But there's a lot of them, and I don't need them to all be in my way. Okay, maybe we won't separate out all of them. Honestly, Sun and Moon is not a bad place to have stopped. I really like Sun and Moon. I mean, I played Moon, which was kind of annoying because Moon came out when I was in undergrad, and I've always been the nighttime kind of player, because I'll play games before going to bed. But in Moon specifically, there's a 12-hour offset between your system clock and the in-game time. So noon on the system clock is midnight in-game. And for most people, that would probably mean that they were playing the game primarily at night. For me, that meant I was playing Pokemon Moon primarily during the day. And there aren't a lot of things where that makes a huge difference. Oh, I already did that. But I just like the feeling of Pokemon at night. And to be clear, I don't dislike Sword and Shield. I don't dislike Scarlet and Violet. But, I mean, I've actually spent quite a lot of time playing Violet in the last little bit because the DLC came out. But I absolutely believe that they've handled those games, Scarlet and Violet in particular, extremely poorly. And that's a shame. Sword and Shield had their share of issues, but they were more functional than Scarlet and Violet have tended to be. I mean, I feel like I've played enough of Violet that I'm just numb to the environment popping in and out and lag spikes. And that's a shame, because the game wouldn't be perfect if it ran better. But from a design perspective, it is the most they have tried to change things up in years. So it's unfortunate that that's hindered by just not working well. It's supposed to be... Yes. Oh, the dogs. Now, if you're watching on the big screen, I won't even have to feel bad about where I'm holding stuff, because you'll just be able to see it because it's big. I say that, but that still doesn't help if the thing is super tiny. You know, you could almost do just these first couple of bags and make yourself a really nice warp pipe pencil holder. This is just a great size and shape to hold pencils. I'm not going to purchase... Hello. I'm not going to purchase a second Piranha Plant Lego set just so I can build a green pipe pencil holder. But I will say that you could. Okay. We've got some of these. That's too big. Still too big. There we go. That's the... No, it's not. I mean, we need one here. I didn't effectively separate the curved pieces. Now there are simply curved pieces in every location. I regret the decisions that have led me to this point. There we go. It's... oh dear, I still have a corner. To make less of a corner. There. It's starting to look kind of roundish. Where does that go? Here, I guess. You know what? That's easier. Now, everyone can kind of see what's happening. Okay, get a careful. No, these are still curved. Why did I do this to myself? There's a flat piece. And can we get 2? No, that is illegal. There we go. Okay. Is that 2 of these? And 6 of these. Yes. Okay. Look at that, rounding out the pipe. It's going to be so almost circular now. Oh no, now. There's so many different sizes of round things. What have I done? I did not consider that there are this many different curved pieces. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I can just put some of these in here, and then I'll be able to find them easily. You know, I will accept the excuse that you're giving me that this was just to make it more interesting. We can just overlook that it also makes it more difficult. Or perhaps it's interesting because it's difficult. That is the case a lot of the time. Okay, we're going to take care of this side as well. It really does just say, yeah, slap 20 of these things down. All at once. Go nuts. Make this thing round. You won't. The real question, though, is... This whole thing's at the bottom. What's this gonna... I don't know how this is going to work. But... You know... The Lego designers designed the Lego. I simply assemble it. That much is true. By including chaotic in my username, I do kind of invite and encourage a degree of chaos. It's so much easier to see what's happening here now. I only want 2 of these flatter pieces rather than a full brick-sized piece. I assume that this is going to be the back. I could be wrong. So that's my guess. There we go. That does almost sit perfectly, though. It's almost like these were intentional design decisions. Whoa. I'm glad you're enjoying. I am as well. And that's the most important thing. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about being a smaller creator, doing this as a hobby. I just do what I want, and if people want to watch it, great, and if they don't, at least I still had fun. I do not have your waffle at present. I also do not have the manifestation of your basic underlying reasoning, depending on whether you are discussing waffles or that Freudian or Jungian. I don't know. I took a philosophy class in college, but it was my last semester of undergrad. I got to make a Castlevania reference. That's about as far as I got into the psychology realm. Or, I guess the philosophy psychology combo. I don't know, I play Persona now. That one I know runs on Carl Jung's theories. Huh. This bag does not contain any extra pieces. But hey, look at that. It would be a lovely little pencil holder if you wanted to just stop putting it together right now. It's got some weight to it, too. A lot of Lego. Bag 3 doesn't seem to have a lot going on. But bags 4 through 6 are where things get interesting. Oh, there's another small one. I think every piece in this one is also green. It appears as though we're putting together the basics of a stem. Yeah, the biggest issue with doing these is that I just can't get comfortable. Right, the Dialga and Palkia theme played while I was setting things up. Oh, I see. Getting some nice flat surfaces out of this one. And circle plate, that's not a circle plate. Where's the circle plate? There it is. Circle plate. And one of these little guys. We're getting somewhere. I'm not sure where we're getting, but it is somewhere. Get a couple and add these little joints. With some more of these on either side. Where's the last one? There it is. Oh, I'm a clown. That's the issue. One space too close. I'm not sure whether it'll matter that, well, which one of these is on top and which one's on bottom, but we'll follow the directions for now. They are the way they are with intention. Off the sides with a couple of these, and around a couple of those. Hold this lad. And then we've got more of this. It makes sense that they'd want this to be fairly sturdy, because I think this is where the head's going to connect. Kind of this section right here. Okay, these cover up connectors here. It's also interesting to see how they cover up the connections on a lot of these. One of the big driving principles in Lego construction is studs not on top. Supposed to fit through there. Yes, there we go. Okay. Look at that. We got a twig. Getting there. It's interesting that they decided that that needed a whole bag on its own. Those are the only two pieces that aren't green. Let's separate out the handful that are light green, just to feel better about it. Oh, there's another. Hooray! Looks like we need to do this whole thing twice. May as well just build it twice from the start so we don't have to flip back. Where is our other flat plate? Separating things by color is starting to become an issue when everything is the same color. There we go. I mean, it worked out for the first section. There were so many different colors that I could separate by. At least I'm not building the Lego Death Star. That's so many pieces that are all, like, 2 different shades of gray. Huh. Okay. Got a couple of these hinge pieces. There's another. Bring them out a bit. Stack them up. They go out. Once more with feeling. I can't believe that the 2 containers that I picked up to separate things are the same colors as a bunch of the Legos in the set. And yet, don't get me wrong, as much as I could snark about the Lego Death Star being all the same color, I'd still be down to build it. It's the Death Star, that's cool. There's a reason that the Death Star is the Lego set that is featured in Spider-Man Homecoming. And, you know, part of that is just because Disney. But also, the Lego Death Star is comically large and complex for being a whole lot of gray Legos. There's another hinge. There's another one of these. Cool. Lap that onto the other side. There. We're getting somewhere. It's articulate. Another funky little stack. Twice. Everything happens twice. I think this is probably my favorite version of the Pokemon Center theme. Though, Diamond and Pearl's nighttime version gives it a run for its money. Huh, funky. And it's almost certainly because this was the Pokemon game that I played when I was in, like, 4th grade. Causing a small amount of anarchy by building things in the order that I pick up the pieces. Because it seems silly to pick up a piece and put it down when I know I'm going to need it. There we go. A little bit of triangle add. There. Lovely little hat. Leaves. Oh, and here's the base of these leaves. Now we're using these gray pieces. And, you know, more of these funky little side guys. Nope, that is not the correct thingy. Oh. Neat. I saw, I think yesterday, that it looks like they're gearing up to finally release the soundtracks of the Pokemon games that have come out since Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. For a while, they were really consistent about putting their soundtracks on iTunes. I mean, you can get everything from pretty much Fire Red and Leaf Green forward on iTunes. But they stopped after Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And I'm not 100% sure why, but I saw listings for actual physical soundtracks for Sword and Shield, Legends Arceus, and Scarlet and Violet, the other day. So hopefully that means they'll actually be able to purchase the music from those games. Because whatever the case may be on the quality and functionality of those games, the music is always good. It's like Sonic. Which is a little sad, honestly. Because for a while on handheld systems, the Pokemon games were what drove a lot of the features. I mean, that's fair. I actually have an Android, but I have the iTunes app on PC, and that gives me enough access to buy something, download it, and then move it into the music player I actually use. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Pokemon games had local video chat on the DSi. And they had the Pokewalker, which was one of the most accurate pedometers at the time that it came out. They just did so many cool things with Pokemon that haven't been the case as much in more recent years. And a lot of that comes from not changing the development process to fit a home console. But I don't know, I love Pokemon as a franchise. I grew up playing the games. Love the characters. I mean, so many of the plushies I have over there are Pokemon. So I hope that the development stuff changes for the better. We got leaves now, though. That's cool. Let's see. Bag number 5 looks like it'll finally have some pieces that won't blend in with my plates. There we go. Small bag in there. I think we will actually keep the small bag separate. We'll just put the white pieces in this section. Maybe use these for not red or white. So many axles of a number of different colors. That's a funky enough shape that I'll see it. I always love seeing the pieces that have a very distinct shape. The ones that make you go, oh yeah, that's going to be used for something very visible and cool. Okay, I do have some regrets about sorting the green pieces into the green plate. But there are only like 2 of them this time, so I don't think I'll lose track. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful color sorting. Water. What if I have fried rice, because I really should eat more today. I love that they do this, by the way. For these axles that have to be a very specific length, they have a 1-to-1 comparison. In the instructions. I can see this is the right type of axle. It's so nice. There we go. Less glare from this angle. Yep, another little... Make sure you use this piece, not that piece. It definitely helps that Lego sets are designed generally with kids in mind. I mean, don't get me wrong, kids are way smarter than most people give them credit for. But even so, kids do require a different kind of instruction to really figure things out. I mean, that's how learning works. So, going through design with a philosophy towards kids definitely helps keep things understandable. I am very curious what engineering shenaniganry this is building up to. So again, we need one of these longer pieces. Pink spacer. And black one that size. Interesting. One of these yellow axle through here, green, onto there. Yeah, I'm real curious to see how this is gonna come together. It's loose. And then we're kind of... yeah, completing the mirror image. So it is symmetrical. Whoops. There we go. We just need another one of these. And we have what looks like a very strange little robot or spaceship. Somehow this is going to turn into a plant. Let's see. Take one of these tan capped off axles. Here. These, and then a pink spacer. And then do it again. Nope, that's not correct. Here we go. Those connect to these. We're not doing anything to change my funky looking spaceship theory. That would make sense if this is the lower jaw. Complex little construct for the lower jaw. Oh yeah. We're adding teeth now. So, definitely a jaw, probably lower. Then this drops in right here with this on top. Yep. Definitely looking very jaw-like. Now we make this funky piping. Oh, right, we didn't actually use that yet. Okay. We got this. This is a thing. Okay. And that goes right there. Could still be a spaceship, just for the record. Missed an axle. I did not have it memorized. I'm guessing that's gonna... Yep. Just pop right on there. Now it's got about the same shape as the slug ships in FTL. Okay. What do we got now? Dropping in both of these. I'm guessing that this is going to connect here. That is also an option. There are so many spaceships this could be. Got this funky little thing. I see. I didn't recognize that one, and that's because it's the theme for when you win the lottery. Which just doesn't happen. Yeah, only one size of red axle. Good to have the comparison point either way, though. There are two sizes of red axle, but they are very distinct. We'll flatten that back out when we get there. Those pink spacers. This thing. Add it. And a tooth. Just one. As a treat. Get up for step 100, by the way. Didn't call it out when we actually did it, because I forgot to. But give it up for step 100. Okay, that goes in there. Act as the baseline for the upper piping, I guess. More of these. I guess we're gonna wrap this one off fairly soon. Yep. With another red spacer clip plus axle combo. Oh. There we go. Upper jaw, I would guess. More teats. One and two. Attach that right here. Flip it up, and now we attach. Yep, it can do a little chomp. I actually cut my hand on one of those joints as a kid. I really loved Bionicles when they were still a thing. And I got into them at a point that I was still too young to have the strength to properly connect those. I had to ask my parents for help half the time when I was trying to build one. And when I was right on the edge of being able to do it myself, I definitely snapped it a little bit too hard and cut my finger somehow. I'm not sure that I ever had any of the rolling Bionicles. Like the ones, kind of like the Droidicas in the prequel trilogy. At least that's what I'm picturing. Look at them. That's reasonable. Thing that can become orb is very good, just in general. We're on the 6th and final bag now. Looks like this is mostly gonna be big decorative pieces. I think I'm actually gonna sort red into this one and just see what's left. We've got lots of I mean, to be fair, Sonic can be kind of annoying, especially, I think we've had a conversation before that your primary exposure to Sonic was through Smash Brothers. And if that was your introduction to the character, I could definitely see finding him annoying. I was definitely, well, I guess it's hard to say that I was much of an anyone main in Brawl, because that was not only my first Smash Brothers game, but the Smash Brothers game that covered most of my childhood. So as I started to explore the Earthbound series and Fire Emblem and all sorts of things that were tangential to Smash Brothers, the character that I played varied pretty wildly. To the chagrin of all of my close friends, I eventually settled on Ness. At least at points that I was not banned from playing Ness among my friends. It's almost surprising that I didn't lose any friends over video games, really. I mean, I had heated disagreements about Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and all of that, as one does as a child. but never to the point that I actually lost friends. I'm really excited to go back and play the Sonic Adventure games this weekend. I mean, I've kind of been dancing around the idea of replaying them anyway, so making that the theme for... oh dear. Making that the theme for Extra Life was kind of just out of convenience. And that's also true. A lot of people that, you know, go in on the Mario Kart ruins friendships angle are the sort that really just gloat after a win. And that's never... okay, I can't say that's never been me, but it hasn't been me for a while. I have mellowed out of a lot of my competitiveness. Okay, good. That spot's gonna stabilize. As will this. And whatever the heck else is going on down here. Here we go. There. Okay. That's reasonable. You should absolutely make another burrito. It's funny, I think Smash Brothers is the fighting game that a lot of people who don't play fighting games play. Because it's definitely more beginner-friendly compared to a lot of them. I mean, I've tried Street Fighter, I've tried Soul Calibur. I have really, really tried Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, because I'm still upset that Phoenix Wright wasn't added to Smash Brothers. I mean, upset is a strong term, but if there was one character who isn't in Smash that I would add, it's Phoenix Wright. Because that's funny. But the point is that I'm not good at other fighting games. And yeah, it's been really cool seeing Sakurai talk about Smash Brothers and some of the development history since he started a YouTube channel. That's completely fair. There's, unfortunately, no shortage of people who will claim that they'll try to help you learn, and then they really won't. And I won't deny that I used to be more in that camp. I look back with particular disdain on an instance in which I just wiped the floor with a friend of mine in the multiplayer of Spirit Tracks, Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, with the learn from experience justification. I feel bad about that. It's been like 8 years. But at the same time, I think it's funny that Sakurai's actually expressed a similar feeling of regret for not taking it easy. And that was one of the main reasons he wanted to add Terry. Because when he was younger, he just destroyed someone in a King of Fighters arcade game. And then, glanced at the other cabinet to see that it was, like, some couple on a date that he probably turned away from playing King of Fighters ever again. And that's part of why he wanted to make a more beginner-friendly fighting game. But skill gaps are what skill gaps are, and especially a lot of younger players really like to glory in those skill gaps. All of that is, I suppose, a long-winded way to say, I'm sorry that that's the experience you've had with fighting games in general. I get it, and that's rough. We got a whole Piranha Plant head now. And I think that's one of the big issues I have with interesting. We have these couple of coins that just kind of dip into the back here, and then you can drop coins. That's fun. Kind of move forward and back with that. Get those coins back in. Yeah. That's plan. That's also fair. I level play, especially in a lot of fighting games. I mean, I think that's why people like watching speedruns. What is the theoretical limit for the skill at which someone can play this game? And competitive scenes in fighting games and speedruns are really the biggest examples you're gonna get. Anyway, we have our lovely plant boy now. Handful of extra pieces that I will put in the bag of all of the extra pieces I've gotten in Lego sets since I moved back here. Huh. Yeah, this was a nice 2-hour build. Not bad. Good length for a Lego stream. So, again, I mean, thank you for watching, for one thing. Extra Life fundraising Friday and Saturday, the 29th and the 30th, starting at 10 a.m. Central both days, and going until I finish the game of the day. On Friday, I'm playing Sonic Adventure. On Saturday, I'm playing Sonic Adventure 2. And we're aiming to raise $200 for MU Healthcare's Children's Hospital. There's an update video about the event on my channel, and there's a link in the description if you want to check out the campaign page. After Extra Life and after the turn of the new year, I'll be getting back to Sonic Frontiers on Tuesdays and Mario RPG on Saturdays. I'm glad you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much. And have a good night, everybody.